Hello everyone. Welcome on in. I'm Velvet. Hi. I hope you're doing well today. Today we are going to be watching a speed build. So I'm doing a small modern home, and as you can see here, it's going to be all beautiful and blacks and mid browns, and it's just a little one too, not a big one, on a 20 by 15 lot. So it's going to be a little cutie. And you know what? It's actually a shell challenge. So Pretty Poison Simming was hosting a shell challenge, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to get in that. I love a shell challenge. If you guys are only here for the first time, I do love a shell challenge. And if you're here for a repeat visit, then hi, welcome back. I do love to build in The Sims 4. It's my very favorite thing to do in The Sims 4. I'm always there for it. And yeah, I love gameplay, and I really enjoy CAS as well. I just love every aspect of The Sims. It's not a perfect game, but it's a game that I love. It's dear to my heart. But when it comes to my very favorite thing to do, it is building. And so a building challenge is always fun, even though, you do have to maybe think about things in a different way, stretch your imagination a little bit, and push the limits of maybe what you can do with this particular shell. That's what I like to do. Or I like to try and change the shape of the shell to make it look a little different. And as you can see up here, I've just deleted those walls on that top level because I'm not allowed to add any extra walls, part of the shell challenge rules, but I can create false walls, which is what I'm doing upstairs. So it's not going to be a proper room in terms of like, an enclosed room, but this is like a kind of like an open sheltered area that I thought would be quite cool with this house. And so at this point, I'm just doing a little bit of manipulation with the roofing. If you haven't done a lot of shell challenges, I do find manipulating roofs and doing like different things with roofs is a really good way of changing the shape of a shell. So I really like mucking around with roofs and doing some different things there. I don't think I ended up keeping any of that. So I think it ends up looking like a little different. I'm just pottering around at this stage and just trying like a different look. One of the things that I did know that I was wanting to do with this front area was to create like a little sheltered enclosed area, just to make it feel like a little bit cozy, and to have a little bit of privacy in that front area as well, because I am building on a 20 by 15 lot, so this is quite a small lot. I don't have a lot of room to muck around with a whole lot of like different fencing and different little sheltered areas or anything like that. So I was conscious of like giving the residents of the house, the future residents of the house, a little bit of privacy in like different areas of the front yard, because it is kind of like right on the street for the most part. So yeah, particularly that front porch area is like right on the street. So I was like, well, I want to have like a little privacy area there. So again, just using those little slats from Eco Lifestyle and doubling them up there, and using is that from Horse Ranch, that column? I think it is. So yeah, just to create that little illusion of privacy there. And then there's like a little bit more of a section around the front that has a little bit more space, so that's where I could fit like a proper fence and stuff in there for, again, just that privacy. The colors. The colors that I chose for the outside here was actually really deliberate, going in there. One of mine and Pretty Poison's favorite color combinations when it comes to building a modern home is going with the black and the mid brown. So the mid brown there, you can see that coming through with the Eco Lifestyle slats, and then I've sort of topped that up with the black. So I'm using like a black wallpaper. I think it's growing together. Let me have a wee look. Yes, no, not growing together, something else. But anyway, there's a black wallpaper. I'm sure that was like the growing together one, but maybe it's not. I feel like that is growing together. Anyhow, I could be wrong. It's not on my list of packs that I chose, so maybe not. But anyway, yes, black wallpaper, and then like the black roofing. So that's from Businesses and Hobbies. I'm just having an argument with myself. Don't worry about me. And then the brick on the outside as well is also Businesses and Hobbies. So the pack that I really went hard on with this was Businesses and Hobbies, and Eco Lifestyle as well was the other one that I really mixed in there. So those are the two prominent packs. The other packs that I used was Businesses and Hobbies, Lovestruck, Horse Ranch, Get Together, Eco Lifestyle, Perfect Patio, and the Sleek Bathroom Kit. So it is a limited pack build, and it is up on the gallery. if you'd like to download that, it is VelvettB on the gallery. You can give me a follow there and just keep track of all of my uploads. I do upload to the gallery fairly regularly. It will sometimes be CAS, but most of the time it will be builds. Most of the time, if it is a CAS upload, it'll be for a challenge. I don't really upload CAS for any other reason. But yeah, builds I will upload fairly regularly up there, so you can follow me on the gallery and see what I'm up to. All sorts of builds on there. Oh, you know what? I was thinking as I was watching this that I really need to do some more starter homes. Now, this is not a starter home. It's not on a budget whatsoever. So it is limited pack, but it is not limited budget. Although I do feel like it is under 100k. So, you know, it's not like a starter home, but I feel like it's a really nice, cute 2-bedroom home with 1 bathroom for like a little family. And, you know, it's just kind of before maybe they expand out, or, you know, just something that's nice and cozy for a family as they navigate the world of the Sims. So I kept the landscaping pretty simple with this one. I didn't really want to go overboard, and because, you know, it's such a small yard, it just feels like, you know, I didn't want the landscaping taking over. I still wanted to allow space for this house to have hobby and skill building items in it. That was actually quite important to me, because I don't know, I just, with houses, it's all really well and good making them pretty, and I do love doing that, not denying that at all, but I do like to make them functional and good for players to play in. So it's not just about the aesthetic, although I love the aesthetic side of things, but I do like to be a little bit practical in terms of, you know, thinking about how this house will be used for gameplay. And that's why I always playtest my builds as well afterwards, after I finish building, because I do want to make sure that it is usable, and, you know, maybe I'm trying something new and I want to, you know, check that it works okay, you know. And that the Sims can route around as well, because, you know, sometimes they can be a little bit fussy about getting around some of the things, because I do use move objects, which means I do free place items around the place. I'm not really sticking to the grid, and that can sometimes affect how the Sims get around in the world. So playtesting for me is quite important, because I do want to make it playable. Will I catch absolutely everything every single time? Probably not. I don't playtest in depth. I don't have that sort of time. But I do try and playtest as best as I can, and I sort of go around and I'll sit on this chair, and I'll go to the toilet here, and I'll get in this bath here, and I'll sleep in that bed over there, and I'll cook a meal over here. I'll do a little bit, you know, the playtesting things, and you know, sometimes set the house on fire, as you do. You know, your Sim gets in there and they'll cook a meal, and then poof, everything's on fire. But anyway, I do try to make it, you know, like a good playable house. So in terms of this house, I added in, as you can see up here in our top area, the pottery from businesses and hobbies, because I wanted them to have like a little business or hobby option, you know, some sort of skill building here. Hot tub for a little bit of fun, maybe a little bit of woohooing. We've got the chess table, and that's going to be for your logic skill building. And then down in the yard, I added a garden space as well, because, you know, gardening's always good in the game. You know, you grow your own fruit and vegetables, you can grow flowers if you want to do flower arranging. I mean, you can do all sorts of things with gardening, so it's quite useful. And also, I included a monkey bar, because this is going to be a home for a small family. And that was always my intention going in. I do find it easier in the game, or when I'm building, to know what family I'm going to be building for, or just like an idea of a family. When I'm building a floor plan. Sometimes with a larger home, like if I'm doing a really, really big home, I don't necessarily have the whole family sort of thought about in my head, because sometimes it's just a matter of like seeing what works as a bedroom, and then seeing what would work maybe as like a study or a gym or a sauna or a hobby room or whatever, a library. I mean, you know, it just, you know, that's in sort of the bigger homes. It can be a little bit more flexible in terms of the bedrooms, but like a smaller home like this one, I do find it is easier for me, because I do create my own floor plans, and you have to with a shell challenge anyway. There's no way, well, I don't think there is. I don't think there's a way that you could copy a floor plan for a shell challenge. So you know, you got to really, I find for me that thinking about who would go in this house um, really does help in terms of how I create that floor plan. It also helps with in terms of the decoration as well. So when I'm thinking about what to put into the yard, for example, that's about the point where I really start thinking about what the family makeup will be for this house, or what the dynamic will be, because you know, if you want to put kids stuff in the yard, then you've got to think about, you know, is it sort of like toddlers, is it going to be older kids, what's it going to be, and what's going into the yard, or is it just going to be some adults in this house, is it going to be a young couple, you know. It's like when you get to that decoration point of the build, where you're not just making the house pretty, you're actually starting to put in the items that the family will use, then that's where you really got to think about what that dynamic will be and who will be in there. So that was sort of like, as I was putting the decoration into the yard, that's when my idea of who's going to live in this house has formed, and I'm like, right, this is going to be a small family. It's going to be either a single parent or a couple, and they've got a kid. So not a toddler, not an infant, a kid, not a teen, a kid. So yeah, that's sort of where I established that as I was doing the decorating. Just thinking about who was going to be going in here. So 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom on a 20 by 15 lot, which isn't too bad. You know, as I said, small family home, but it's, you know, modern and pretty. Also, I love that big fig tree. We just saw it briefly on the outside, and I just like that big fig tree that we got with businesses and hobbies. It's so pretty. I've been using it quite a bit. I think it's really nice. Anyway, this is going to be the master bedroom. It is a small shell, so there wasn't like a whole lot of room for a big master bedroom. But you know what? I mean, we fit the basics in here. So there's like a dresser in here. There's the double bed. I mean, you don't really need too much else in a bedroom when it boils down to it, right? You just need the bed and the dresser, really. So it's in there, and we fit it in. It's not the biggest master bedroom, but it does the trick nicely. It actually took me quite a while to figure out what I was going to do with the colors in this room. It was like I think I skipped over some of the fluffing around with it, but yeah, it was like a lot of that color, that color, that color, because I kind of chose the color of the bed, and then I was trying to find something that worked with it, and it was just like not so easy, but we got there in the end. And it's quite heavy on the businesses and hobbies wallpapers, so yeah, I think both wallpapers are from that pack actually, as well as the bed, so, and the dresser. The sleek bathroom kit though is the little wall that I used with the shelves for a faux vanity. So that wall and those shelves are just so flexible. I'm in love with that kit. It's been high on my use all of the time list. So the bathroom will be completely done, or was completely done in the sleek bathroom kit, because I couldn't help myself. I just had to use it. It's new, it's shiny. I want all the new things, you know? I think when this comes out, we would have just had the 3 new kits drop as well. So that's going to be exciting. I'm going to be building with those a lot, I think. So we've got the Golden Years kit, which is the Elders kit. And I think that might be Cass and Build by, isn't it? From what I've seen in the pictures, I think it's Cass and Build by. And from what I've heard, there's actually some social interactions as well. So I'm going to be checking those out on stream. So you'll probably see those up on the channel. And the other one was Kitchen Clutter. I've seen the pictures of that, and I'm in love already. I don't even have the pack yet, and I'm in love with it. Just, it looks amazing. And having like some fresh new kitchen clutter makes me happy. Also, I love the blue and the pink in this room. I think this room ended up looking so cute, and I worked the room to match with the bed. So the bed is from the Pride update that came out fairly recently in base game. And yeah, I worked the room around that, and it just looked so pretty. I was so pleased with how that room came out. Just like, oh, that's cute. And anyway, the last kit we have is the Restoration Workshop kit, which I'm really, really interested in finding more about. So yeah, just in terms of how that works and what items you can actually restore with it, because there is a restoration thing that you can do with it. I think using the handiness skill. So yeah, I'm really intrigued about what's involved with that particular kit. Oh man, the kitchen clutter kit, wouldn't it have been absolutely perfect right this second? Because I would have been able to decorate all sorts of fabulous clutter all around this beautiful kitchen in black, because I can't help myself. I love a black kitchen. And I know black kitchens aren't for everybody, but they are for me and I love them. And it just works so beautifully against the yellow wallpaper that I chose. I'm not quite sure why I ended up going yellow. I just think it looked nice and that's what I ended up going with. And you know what, actually, yeah, I think that's why. I'm just trying to think whether or not I was working with the colours, because that black floral wallpaper that we had in businesses and hobbies, I'm just wondering whether or not that was what I looked at and like the colours in there, because it's got like yellows, blues and pinks and possibly green. So I think maybe I looked at that, and because on the feature wall when I do the TV I bring in like a different colour there, and it ended up working out really nicely, so I thought that was really cool. But oh, I love black furnishings in a modern house. It's my fave. And a black kitchen. I went with the growing together fridge and oven, and then matched that with the base game modern counters that we got. I keep on saying recently, but was it recent? Really? I don't know. I'm lost track of time. I lost track of time. But yeah, it was fairly recently. I think it was this year. Anyway, love those counters. They're fantastic. So in this little area here, I decided that I would go dark green, and I think this was because I was kind of working or thinking about what colors we got with yeah, that wallpaper from businesses and hobbies. So yeah, I think it all worked. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys there to enjoy the tours, which are coming up really quickly. So we're just about done with the rest of the living room, and yeah, have a quick look at what we did. I did have to change a few things due to, you know, playtesting, as is always the way. It's just really minor things that you probably wouldn't even notice. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have had fun, and I will catch you next time around. And if you haven't already, remember to hit subscribe and leave me a like and a comment. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!